Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you today about working the anterior and the medial deltoid, or the shoulders. And there's a few things I want to go over with you that are very, very important. And as I'm standing here now, I want you to look at my deltoids. You can see the anterior and the medial, but you can also see the rear delt that kind of sits there on the back side of my shoulder. And what that rear delt does, it gives a different dimension once it's developed. If you don't have that rear delt developed, it takes away from the overall aesthetics of the body. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to isolate the first two, the anterior and the medial. Things that are damaging, things that are dangerous, and things that you should concentrate on while you're working those two areas. And a couple of things that are real important. One is the position of your arm relative to your body. And another is whether you pronate or supinate can be very damaging to that shoulder joint, causing impingement, so on and so forth. The other thing is whether you keep your shoulders down or keep your shoulders up. When your shoulders go up, guess what? As you're lifting the weights and those shoulders go up, you're starting to work the traps, no matter what, because that trap is attached to that joint. You're going to hit the traps a little bit anyway, so you want to minimize that by pushing the shoulders down and away, down and away. So it's like this, but let me show you this. When you're standing to the side, I want to make sure if I'm working the anterior and the medial that my elbows in relation to my body slightly forward, because if my elbows go back, it forces me into the rear delt. So if I'm here, I'm working the anterior and the medial, but the moment I bring those elbows back, level with the rest of my body, I'm recruiting that posterior deltoid to help with the movement. That means the weights are too heavy, or I just don't have an understanding. So oftentimes what I do is I put the weights on my thighs here, and I concentrate on keeping the knees slightly bent, bringing the weight up, slightly pausing, and bringing it back to the starting position, but keeping resistance on those deltoids the whole time. So it's here, pause, and then down, keeping the resistance, and then bringing it up again. If you come down and you stop, many times you'll see this in the gym. They stop here and they go down first. Soon as you see that, think this: momentum. Momentum. That person is about to gather some momentum. So it looks like this. They go down here, they drop their bodies, and that's where the momentum comes in. So they can get through the repetition. But they're failing to activate that shoulder in the way that they could. If they need to lighten the weights, if you need to lighten the weights, concentrate on the form and fire every muscle fiber you possibly can and concentrate on the form and technique. Now watch this. If I come up and as soon as I rotate my arm like this, I'm recruiting other muscle groups. And many times you'll see that the forearm will go higher than the elbow and the shoulder. Boom, I'm recruiting other muscle groups. The pressure is coming down, and if I'm gonna hit that medial deltoid, I've gotta keep the pressure right there. As soon as I rotate back, I'm moving more towards the anterior, and if I bring the elbow back, I'm also recruiting that rear deltoid. And when I raise the shoulders, I'm causing an impingement. So concentrate on your form. Let's grab some dumbbells. Let's see how this works. Okay guys, we're gonna start off with the 20s just to get a feel for it. Get those shoulders loosened up a little bit. Here we go. Remember, we're not working the traps. Relax those traps. Make sure they're not in this position. This is working the traps. Relax those traps. Remember, down, and away. So here we go. Down and away. Now I'm driving with the elbows. let me say this real quick. Human nature, as soon as you grip something with the hand, it makes you want to pull this direction. But as soon as you get the dumbbells, you want to concentrate on this part of your arm just as leverage. That's it. And you're driving from the elbow. And you're forcing the elbow, the wrist, and the shoulder to come to a place where it's horizontal with the ground. Soon as you go higher up here, you're starting to create impingement. So you want to move away from that. Okay, here we go. Try it again. Leaning with the elbows, shoulders down, and away. Okay, here we go. Good. Oftentimes, what happens if the weight is too heavy, then we start to swing the weight. And we want to get stronger, but we don't want to lift heavier and sacrifice the form. Form more important than weight. Weight too heavy, injury, poor form. Okay, now we're going to go to the 40s. Let's try it again. Slightly bend the knees. The other thing you want to watch out for is the chicken. It's what I call the chicken. When the head goes forward like that, momentum. Watch, I'll show you what that looks like. And sometimes we get a rhythm going, guys. 1, 2, 3. It looks more like a turkey, huh? Oh, the only thing I'm missing is the gobble, right? Gobble, 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 gobble. Like that, right? But you want to keep that head solid. Ooh. At the top, slightly. Ooh. Ooh. Good. So that's the form. If the weight gets too heavy, you'll start seeing the form change. With this, I normally use the 55s or the 60s. I was going to grab the 60s and show you what that looks like, but I'm not trying to show how strong I am. Some of you probably use a lot heavier anyway, but I'm on a mission to get all of my strength back. You guys have motivated me. It is on. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, tell me why. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.